Do you also remember that we had generated what's known as an indirect truth table to effectively test this argument? So forgive the annotation because it's going to look really ugly, but there's not much I can do about that. My writing is terrible. Do you remember we did something like this? We said, okay, here is a layout where I've got the argument, and suppose that I want to say, hey, I don't believe that sentence 3, R, follows from 1 and 2. In other words, I believe this argument is invalid, or I believe that 3 is not a tautological consequence of 1 and 2. So the way that I assert this is I say, hey, I think that, oh, I just started writing R. I think that the premises are true and the conclusion is false. Yeah? Does this ring bells? What do you think? You guys are okay with this? All right. I heard one yeah, so I'm going to take that as approval from the group. Okay, so now if R is false, I plug the value under R, right? I was about to write R again, sorry. But I've said that the disjunction is true. So if R is false, but I'm saying the disjunction is true, that means L has to be true, right? But, uh-oh, I've just contradicted the truth definition of the negation. I can't have it both ways, right? Does it make sense to say that when I assume that the conclusion is false, I yield a truth functional contradiction?
Yeah.
Now, I can go, let me generate another line here. It doesn't matter. Oh, come here, you. It doesn't matter where I generate the contradiction. I just generated it at the negation, but I can also generate it at the disjunction, right? So, oh, sorry. All right, so if I'm saying that not L is true, that means that L has to be false. So I pull my F over to L. And if I'm saying that L is false, but the disjunction is true, that means that R has to be true. But, oh no, R cannot be both true and false. Yet again, another truth functional contradiction. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you are comfortable with what we've just done, which is to say we've used the truth table to test the argument for validity, right? We basically said, when I plug in the values for what would make this argument invalid, I run into a contradiction with at least one of the truth definitions. So truth definition for negation or truth definition for disjunction, right? Which means I cannot maintain invalidity. When I try to make the argument invalid, I run into a contradiction. Remember, we talked about the fact that the little kid said, "You lied to me." What was the lie? The lie was, I have candy in my left hand or my right hand. Right? That was the sentence that had to be false. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to get rid of all this writing because it's otherwise going to be in our way. I don't know if there's a faster way for me to erase this stuff.
Can you swipe through it all?
Oh, that's a good, yeah, let's see. Ooh, look at you. Is that Lewis?
Nice, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Lewis. Well done.